haven't practiced this. I have literally been on set all day, so I apologize in advance. This is, do you want to describe what's happening at this moment?
Yeah.
Well, Monty is playing strip poker with with an aristocratic lady.
This is the Versailles scene I mentioned.
What did you say about it?
Just that when I first wrote this book, I wrote it so much like for me with the intention that no one would ever read it. So my rule is nothing was too ridiculous, which is why this scene is so and I'm still shocked it didn't get cut.
So he skipped out of a party, broken into a room with this, with Jian, and they're playing strip poker.
Hey, you actually got the book.
I read it twice. I read it once and then I read it out loud.
That's my
Great. Aristocratic ladies, it should be noted, wear a beastly lot of clothing, particularly at parties. I could strip to nothing in 20 seconds if given adequate motivation, and she's more than adequate. But undressing Jian is not as easy as it was when I imagined it every time she removed another piece of jewelry. My mouth is still on hers as we stagger to our feet, so I haven't even got a good view of what it is I'm meant to be ripping off. I take a guess and tear at the laces until something snaps and the stomacher falls away, which at least pops her breasts from their breast prison. But then there's a ghastly cage around her waist with petticoats and corsets and a chemise, and I swear to God there's another corset under that. And then a whole creative other layer of who knows what, but I'm certain it's there simply to keep me from her skin. Perhaps fashion is just a reinforcement of a lady's chastity in hopes that the interested party may lose interest and abandon any deflowering attempts simply for all the clothing in the way. In contrast, Jian only needs undo 4 buttons on the flap of my breeches and then slide them down my hips, which is just unfair. Her fingers wend their way up my spine, and I'm shocked suddenly from the moment by the memory of Percy's hands there, his palms parentheses around my rib cage, and a touch that made me feel hungry and breakable. His legs wrapped around me, the sound of his short, sharp breath when I put my lips to his neck. God damn it, Percy. I let go of Jian just long enough to unfasten the buttons at my knees and get my breeches around my ankles, then I kick them onto the sofa in a high arc. She traces my lips with the tip of her tongue, talc from her skin coating my mouth, and hellfire and damnation. I'm not thinking about Percy. I put my arms all the way around her, jerking her toward me. Then, from behind us, the door latch snaps and someone says, "What's going on?" I whip my hands out of Jian's dress, nearly losing a finger in the process, since somehow I've gotten tangled in the back lacings of her corsets. The Duke of Auburn fills the doorway to the room, 2 more lordly-looking gentlemen at his sides, all of them with their mouths gaping, like beached fish. I let fly a choice 4-letter word and try to shield myself with the massive cage Jian has strapped to her waist. The Duke squints at me. God, Disley? Yes, evening. Auburn, wasn't it? His face sets. What the devil are you doing here? To be clear, I say, edging toward the sofa where my clothes are piled and cursing myself for having made such a dramatic show of flinging them away. I have to drag Jian with me to be certain I stay concealed. Here, as in Versailles? Because I was certainly invited. In my apartments! What are you doing in my damned apartments? Oh, you mean here as in here? You vile little rake, just like your... His face is going red and I brace myself, but his attention is commandeered by Jian, still standing bare-breasted at my side. Mademoiselle Lebray, cover yourself for God's sake, he snaps. Jian starts tugging at her corset, which does less to cover her and more to emphasize the fact that she's not. The 2 other men are gaping at her chest, and Bourbon looks like he's about to commit homicide upon anyone within an arm's distance. And I'm well versed in seizing the moment. So, I snatch my clothes off the sofa and make my escape straight out the open window. Which is how I come to be running through the gardens of the Palace of Versailles, dressed only as nature intended. I round a hedgerow, flanking the orangery, realizing that beyond actually fleeing the scene, I have no exit strategy. I have a strong sense I'm being chased, and I haven't time to stop on the lawn and redress. I try to pull my breeches back on as I go and nearly lurch face first into the shrubbery, so I choose to keep my clothing bundled up in front of my most vulnerable parts and continue my flight. I skirt the wall of the palace, trying to avoid the windows and stay between the topiaries. There isn't an empty room, nowhere I could dart in and hide or re-robe myself. I'm disoriented and distracted and go farther than I intend to. When I round the next corner, I find I'm in the courtyard, partygoers spilling down the stairs and into the bright lights. I stop dead, which is a fatal miscalculation on my part, because a woman sees me and shrieks. And then everyone turns to stare at me. The Viscount of Disley, standing in the courtyard with his hair askew and a woman's powder smeared across his face like flour, and also without a stitch of clothing on. And then, because Fortune is a heartless bitch, I hear someone behind me say, "Monty?" And of course there is Percy, standing beside Felicity, who for the first time in all of her born days seems too shocked to be smirking. And with them, the Lord Ambassador and his wife. We all gape at each other, or rather they gape at me. There's really nothing to do but pretend I'm fully clothed and in control of the situation, so I walk up to Percy and say, "There you are. I think we should be going." They're all staring at me. The whole courtyard is staring at me, but it's Percy and Felicity that I feel the most. Felicity's got her fish mouth in place, but Percy's shock is starting to fade and he looks embarrassed of me or for me, it's hard to say. "My lord," the ambassador says, and I turn, still trying to play dead casual. His wife squeaks. "Yes, sir?" His face is scarlet. "Have you any possible explanation for your current state of dress?" "Undress," I correct him. "And thank you so much for a lovely evening. It's been quite revealing. But we're expected home, so we'll hear from you soon. We should have you for supper before we move south. Percy, Felicity?" I would take their arms, but my hands are otherwise occupied. So I tip my chin up and begin to walk away and hope to God they will follow me. They both do, though neither says a word. When we are at last installed again in our carriage by some rather wide-eyed attendants, I drop my shield and start to shuffle back into my breeches. Felicity throws up her hands with a shriek. "Dear God, Monty, my eyes!" I arch my back, trying to wriggle in without striking my head on one of the hanging lanterns. "Shame you haven't your attractive specs on." "What were you doing?" Look at what I'm wearing and make an educated guess. I fasten my breeches, then look over at Percy, who is staring forward, stone-faced. "What's the matter with you?" His mouth tightens. "Are you drunk?" "Excuse me? Are you drunk?" he repeats. "Have you ever seen him sober?" Felicity says. Percy is still staring away from me, though that stare is turning into a glare. "Can't you control yourself, ever?" "I'm sorry, are you getting on me to behave? You aren't exactly a saintly enough candidate to be delivering a morality lecture, darling. Do you think I could ever act the way you do and get away with it?" "What does that mean?" "Look at me and take a guess." "Really? You want to have that conversation right now? You let everyone walk all over you because your skin's a bit dark." "Oh, dear God, Monty, stop," Felicity says. "But if you'd grown a spine, I wouldn't have to stand up for you because you do it yourself." He looks for a moment, too astonished to speak. Felicity's gaping at me too, and I have a deep sense I've said something very wrong. But then Percy tips his chin up. "If that was me, caught naked with some person at the palace, I wouldn't have been permitted to walk away from that garden the way you just did." I start to say something, but he interrupts, his voice slicing. "Aren't you tired of this? Aren't you tired of being this person? You look like a drunken ass all the time, all the bloody time, and it's getting what, Percy?"